Welcome, guys, to the toastiest YouTube around. Yes, again, welcome to the Toasty Tips series on this channel. This one is all about switching from controller to the keyboard and mouse. Let's get it. So, as most of you know, I used to play PlayStation religiously. Absolutely love the console. But when I got my PC, I thought, you know what, I'm going to try out a little bit of PC gaming. So we started playing around with the keyboard and mouse. I was mainly playing on controller still, and I did want to switch because I know there is a lot of benefits to playing on keyboard and mouse. So I feel like I've got a few tips for new players with a keyboard and mouse to maybe get you started a little bit more ahead of the game. So let's get into it. So for me, the one thing that really did help me was instead of like forcing myself to play with keyboard and mouse the whole time I was playing, what I did was I thought to myself, well, I'll start on keyboard and mouse, and then I will switch to the controller once I get a bit frustrated, or maybe my wrist started aching or my hand started aching. So definitely for a new player, for me, what I would do is I'd start on keyboard and mouse, mess around with the keybinds a little bit, get yourself a little bit comfortable with the keyboard, where the keys are and stuff, and just take it slow. But then when you do get a little bit frustrated with not getting kills or getting killed all the time, etc., or your aim not being there, switch the controller, enjoy yourself, take a little break, and then get back into it, man. Honestly, don't force yourself to play keyboard and mouse and think, oh, I'm not getting any better, and getting frustrated with it and then just switching back to controller and never trying again. Take it slow, take it steady, do it step by step. Baby steps, as I say. Like I say, mess about with the keybinds. Your keybinds are the main reason you will not enjoy playing on keyboard initially, because some of the keys are far away from where you expect them to be. So look at the game you're playing, figure out what the most important buttons are that you're going to need, and make sure they're close to your AWS and D. Get used to where the keys are without looking at the keyboard, because you will find yourself looking at the keyboard quite a lot when you first start. So take it steady and take your time. So the second tip from me is all about you being comfortable whilst playing. The main thing I would say is make sure you get yourself a decent chair. One that's going to sit, you know, kind of level with your desk, so your arms aren't like up here or down low, or, you know, you're really far away from your desk, so you've got your arms stretched out. Get yourself comfortable. Make sure that your keyboard's not really tilted, you know, keep your wrist straight. Hand stretches help a lot, so, you know, stretch out your wrists, stretch out your fingers before you start playing, especially when you're used to playing controller, because you don't really need to do finger stretches and stuff like that when you're playing with controller, let's be honest. But with keyboard, you're using your wrists and your arms a lot more, so make sure you're stretching out your fingers and your wrists before you start playing, especially when you're switching from a controller, like I say, because you will find that your wrists and your fingers will ache after a little bit, and you'll want to switch back to controller. So make sure you get some stretches on the go. Some stretches on the go. Let's get some stretches on the go. I know a lot of people do play in awkward positions and they're completely fine with it, but look after yourself, look after your health. On to the next one. So tip number 3 is a little bit controversial. Some people would disagree with this one. I feel that getting yourself a decent mouse will definitely help your cause. I did start on a cheap mouse, don't get me wrong. It cost me around about £5 off Amazon, and I was quite happy with it. But then I did decide to invest in a SteelSeries Rival 600, which is absolutely amazing. I'll leave a link in the description to the Amazon website for you to have a look at it. It is a decent mouse to start off with. The mouse smoothing on it is freaking incredible. It really, really is. And that is the one thing I noticed majorly when I switched from a cheaper mouse to a more expensive mouse, was the mouse smoothing, how smooth it felt when I moved the mouse across my mat, and how smooth it was on my screen. On an older mouse, you will find that it won't have a smoothing aspect to the mouse at all, and you'll see your cursor will kind of follow the pixels on your screen. I know that sounds weird, but you will notice a difference, especially if you're playing on a cheap mouse right now. Maybe invest in a more expensive mouse, like £40-50, and trust me, you will notice the difference. So, next one. We're talking about sensitivity here. Well, sensitivity, obviously, is personal preference. For me, what I found useful, instead of starting with a faster sensitivity, because you'll find most games will have a kind of fast sensitivity when you first start playing them. It'll feel really, really responsive and really, really quick. What I did is I turned the sensitivity quite low down. I had my DPI on 800. We'll talk a little bit more about DPI in a minute. But I had my DPI on 800. And I had my in-game sense quite low. So I had to move my arm quite a bit to aim. I started with a slower sense. Started feeling like, oh no, I'm not comfortable with moving my arm so far. So I increased it a little bit. And I increased it in increments over time until I found a sensitivity I was happy with, where I didn't feel like I was moving my arm too much, but I wasn't just using my wrist and the sensitivity was too twitchy. Honestly, try out starting on a slow one, increasing it, and see how you get on. And let me know in the comments as well. So, finally is DPI. Now, DPI, I still don't really understand myself, fully. But what I do know is that I like to keep my DPI the same on whatever game I'm playing. So I've set mine to 800, which is around about the average DPI that most people have. They normally have between, say, 400 DPI to 1200 DPI. The faster the DPI is, the more pixels the mouse will move across per inch of you moving your mouse across your mouse map. So as you can see here, guys, I've got a 10 in-game sense on Rainbow Six Siege. We're going to test out 800 DPI, which is what I'm playing on now. And we're going to test out 12,000 DPI, which is the max my mouse will go to. So I'm hoping you guys are going to be able to see the difference right now. So this is 800 DPI right now. And as you can see, I'm moving my hand quite a bit. And we're going, 180 degrees left and right. But if I aim down sight, as I've got it slowed down a little bit, as you can see, I've got to move my arm just that little bit more. This sensitivity works for me as well, because I do like to kind of reset. So I'll lift my mouse up so I'm not moving it, and then I'll move my hand that way as well. Now we'll try 12,000 DPI. Press the little DPI button on my mouse. Now, as you can see, it's very, very twitchy. And I'm not moving my arm at all. And I'm literally just using my wrist. Look how quick this is right now. Oh my god, this is so hard. As you can see, I'm twitching. Even if I move the mouse just millimeters, it's turning quite a lot, right? Like how quick that is. I'm not on the camera. You probably can't even see that I'm moving the mouse right now. But if we drop it back down to 800, look how slow and smooth this is now. You'll find yourself being a little bit more consistent with your aim across different games. And also, there is websites. I will link it in the description down below. So once you have found a sensitivity you're happy with, say for example, I play Tom Clancy's Rainbow Six Siege. Once you found a sensitivity that you're happy with in-game, there is websites out there that can transfer those sensitivities that you use from that game to other games, or you just input in a few numbers into the website and they will tell you what to use on other games that you want to maybe play. So I will link those in the description down below. Hopefully you'll find those helpful. So as switching from the old controller to the keyboard and mouse is concerned, I think I've kind of covered everything that I can think of right now. So if you have enjoyed the video and you have found it helpful, please consider clicking that little subscribe button down in the bottom right hand corner and maybe give us a little thumbs up. Let me know in the comments down below how you found switching from controller to keyboard and mouse when you first got a PC, or if you're considering maybe getting a PC in the future and maybe this video may help you. Please stay awesome, stay safe, but most importantly, stay damn toasty. Also, maybe consider turning on those little bell notifications so you get notified when notified